Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. I am here with an amazing team Kitchen Fable with Jimmy Lee, the winner of the Cloak and Blaster Road to Nationals not 24 hours ago from the recording of this video. This will go live. It'll be like 36 hours ago by the time you guys are watching this. Jimmy, congratulations, dude.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm still super pumped about it. It was awesome. It was great.
Yeah. It's awesome. And we got Sean here too. Sean's the team liaison, the team organizer, the team creator, the team founder of Team Kitchen Fable. And we're going to chat a little bit about the experience of playing in the Road to Nationals. I know a lot of people are practicing and training right now for Road to Nationals. So Jimmy's going to give you his expert advice now that you don't need to win anymore, right, man? You can just lose. Like,
why not, right?
You can just lose from now until whenever the Nationals is. And so he can give you some of his experience. And then if you're looking for more of a deck tech and the walkthrough on Jimmy's Bolton list, that's going to go up on Team Kitchen Fable today. Correct, Sean?
Yeah, it should be up by the time this video goes up, so we'll be syncing the release. And Jimmy and I are going to spend a long time going over his deck list. We're going to be talking all about Bolton, a little bit more about the process in building the deck, because it's been a long process between Jimmy, myself, and a lot of other guys who are testing Bolton on the team. So definitely look forward to that.
Cool. So Jimmy, this video is just going to be a short little 10-minute video. I want to know about you, Jimmy. Give us your background in TCGs, and then I want to hear more about your experience playing at the Road to Nationals.
For sure, man. So as for background in TCGs, I've only been playing card games for about, I'd say maybe 2, maybe going on 3 years. It all started, my friend was telling me about this other game. I think you might have heard about it, Magic.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Magic, and he was like, "Bro, come try Magic with me," and I'm like, "No way!" And I did, and we're up till like 3 a.m. playing just cards, man. I really did like, the TCG. I never played a TCG before that. Never thought I would get into TCGs, and now I'm loving it. I love how you could, just use your brain, and it's cool at the same time, right? So I started with Magic, never went really more than the FNM level with it, and I'll get to why later once we start talking about like what I love about Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
And then after that, I played this game, this little known game called Argent Saga. It was a lot smaller. Yeah, a lot smaller. That was like kind of the first game I tried to be really kind of competitive with. Unfortunately, the game, died early 2021. And I around that time, Channel Fireball, I think it was posting their instant collection for Flesh and Blood, and I'm like,
sure.
I'm out of a game. I still love TCG, so I'll give this one another try. And, since opening those boxes and since, putting together my first deck, it was Dorinthia. Sorry, but it was Dorinthia. And
yeah, that's better than your first deck being Ira.
Well,
yikes, dude. Yeah, that's a call out. That's a call out.
Well, I mean, that is kind of the thing that kind of brought me to Flesh and Blood, actually, over something like, the other card games out there. Is I like how you could be expressive with Flesh and Blood.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw Dorinthia. I saw that she was a knight. I saw it, and the whole theme of the deck was very cool to me. So I built it, and of course, Dorinthia you could easily say she could be competitive, but then. No, here we are with Bolton, kind of a little more unknown, at least before this season. And you could kind of just see something that's very cool and decide this is what you want to build and, try to, get good with it.
So you're in Florida, which is really, you guys are both in Florida, right? Which is like really the competitive hub. I would say one of the competitive hubs of Flesh and Blood in the United States right now. You've got Tolarian Dropouts are there. You've got, Tower number 9, is he Florida? He's down in the east coast somewhere. Anyway, but you've got a lot of competitive folks out there, and you've played a bunch of skirmishes. I know that because you won a bunch of skirmishes, and Team Kitchen Fable, anytime they win a skirmish, they get a little reward from me. So walk me through, like you went from buying in, you were playing Argent Saga, you bought the the Flesh and Blood instant collection kit from Channel Fireball. Walk me through a little bit about your skirmish season stuff and how that trained you to where you are now.
So I kind of started the game mid Skirmish season 1. So unlike a lot of these guys that have been around for a while and like they knew about Classic Constructed and they love and have missed Classic Constructed before this month. I started with Blitz just midway through the season. I spent the money. I bought all the equipments I would need for the Blitz. Ended up, and I say that because it ended up being super beneficial later. Because when I went to go build a different deck, a CC deck, it's a lot cheaper than you would think when you already have a good amount of the equipment, right?
Yeah.
From your Blitz deck. So yeah, I started with Skirmish season 1. My first tournament, I think I went like 2-4, and like lucky to win those two,
Yeah, those are Louis numbers, man.
And I mean, it takes reps. It takes, I just love the game, so it never really felt like work. I just kept playing, and then when I would lose, I would, what can I do to do a little better there? What can I, if it's between, it's either going to be changing my play style or changing something in the deck, but there was always something to kind of crack to, better a matchup later after losing. Yeah, I played through I didn't go too hard. Like I didn't, I wasn't one of those guys that was up to 4 a.m. Playing but when I wasn't working, when I wasn't, doing something else, like, yeah, Flesh and Blood's my hobby. I would, of course, make the time to go play in a skirmish.
Yeah. So you won a bunch of skirmishes. You tried out for the Team Kitchen Fable. Walk me through a little bit about your process as you were preparing for Road to Nationals. What was your process like? You don't have to give away any of your secrets or anything like that, but like, what was it like? Like, explain to me the feelings and the emotions going into something like that as you prepare for a couple of months or a month and a half or so.
For sure. So I did end up top 8ing a good amount of skirmishes, especially this. It was actually all this skirmish season 2. I think I was just shy of a top 8 skirmish season 1. So that was my goal coming in, was I was gonna make the article, and I have a couple of times. So yeah, I checked that one off the box. But yeah, that was.
You're so humble. I think a couple. your couple is like 6 or 7, I think.
Man, yeah. So yeah, you advertised the team well enough. I heard about the team. I was like, you know what? I kind of want to play for a team, and I tried out. I did pretty okay in the tryouts. I got and made it to the team, and
I'm gonna stop it right there. We held 3 tournaments.
Pretty okay.
Pretty okay. We held 3 tournaments. 2 of them were public. 1 of them was private to the patrons. Jimmy won every single one of them.
Well, I mean, yes, I played well. My opponents also played well. It was a lot of back and forth. I was fortunate enough to top the 3 that we did, and here I am on the team. So just between like starting out and then I made the team and then going to skirmish season 2, it was just a lot of playing. Like it was like playing a video game for me. It wasn't exactly work. It was just like, this is what I enjoy doing, so let me go ahead and continue to play. And as I played, I grew as a player. I had a very good I would say a good outlook on it. Like when I would lose, like, yeah, of course, nobody likes to lose. Nobody likes to lose. But instead of like thinking, what is wrong with that hero, I would think about, what can I do to make my hero have a better chance versus that hero? And I think that mentality for me has helped me out a lot to grow, from starting out to here we are on this interview,
Yeah, and I mean that question right there, what can my hero do that's different than a different hero? What even played out in the final round where it was Bolton versus Bolton, and you were running Bolton Raiden, right? And he was running Sabers?
He was running Sabers.
So like that strategy, and you guys can get into the strategy later on the Team Kitchen Fable channel, but that strategy of like trying to answer that question, what can I do differently, really worked out well for you in a lot of ways.
Well, I would say a big part of it was the time put in before getting to the event. Everyone knows Chain is kind of the boogeyman of this format, and I've done like 70% of my testing has to be against Chain. And then going into the event, I ended up going, I think it was 2-1, maybe 3-1, something like that against Chain, and this is like the big guy everyone's worried about him. Chain, I think, should have a pretty okay matchup versus Bolton Raiden, but it just took a lot of time. I lost like so many games versus Chain just so I can make these updates, like affect the board. What can I do with my play style? Yeah, all that definitely came into like going into the tournament with a deck that I felt like I could handle this certain deck okay versus other decks, and then like when I saw a Chain, I had a plan.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. So, all right, walk through me then. You've got your practice there. You've been practicing with, you guys practice in the Discord server. You've been practicing locally. I think right now you guys are missing team practice for Monday night. I guess you get a day off because you've won. But you've been practicing. You get there. You're at Cloak and Blaster. Give us a walkthrough a little bit of the nerves and the experience of playing in a Road to Nationals, knowing that the stakes are. I don't want to overplay anything. The stakes are super high and it's a life or death thing, but you've been putting all of your time and energy into something, and an opportunity for you. Walk me through that.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely wasn't a life or death thing, but the stakes to me personally, when you're invested in a hobby, and you want to win, I'm sure everyone's the type of player where they want to win, but I want to win, right? The nerves were there, man. And game one, I almost fatigued to a Bravo. I won the match with one card left to my deck. So I was I already round one, I was like, am I gonna go 0-1 starting? Because we all know when Flesh and Blood, losing your first round is a very tough thing to come back from. You might as well try to go X1 the rest of the tournament if you're gonna try to make the top 8. So that was very nerve wracking. I go in, I play. I got that game one. I won 3 before I took my first loss. And when I took my first loss, my first loss, my only loss of the day actually was round 4 in Swiss out of 6 rounds. So, if we're talking about nerves, after that round, there was nothing but I have to win the next one.
No turning back at that point, right?
It was I got so far. If I lose my 5th one and I lose out on the chance to make top 8, I felt pretty good going in 3-0. So yeah, the nerves were definitely there. I could work on that, I think, as a player, to just kind of be a little more chill with it. But as someone who really wants to win, and I play, you were mentioning it earlier, I play in a group with, it's not an easy local. We got the dropouts. Chris Ray wasn't at this specific event, but he's not exactly a local. But if there's an event that I'm going for, he'll be there. We got a lot of good players. So I mean, there was a lot of drive to it. There was a lot pushing me to do well.
Yeah.
So I actually want to comment on that.
Yeah.
I actually want to comment on that. So I think Jimmy's talking a lot about his nerves and the competition there, and not to give away any secret sauce, but I think this is something that every player can do better, including myself. And this is what I see Jimmy doing. I'm a local. I see Jimmy at events all the time. This is what Jimmy does better than anybody else I've seen on the scene. Is he's humble enough to admit when he's not playing well, and he's humble enough to ask players that are at his level or better, or even he's independent of player level. He asks questions of everybody. He's like, why did you play this? What do you think about this matchup? In between rounds, he's just always talking to people, learning more. And that communication, that willingness to say, hey, I don't know everything about the game. Jimmy never goes in and he says, oh, I think this hero is better than this hero, or I can win this matchup 100% of the time. He's asking questions, and I think that for me as a player as well as a team manager, that's what I've learned the most from Jimmy, and I think that's what you should all take away is when you go to events, play to learn. Don't play to be competitive, get in the game, make sure that you're tracking your pitch count, making sure that you're looking for your win cons, but ultimately play to learn and ask questions. I think that's the most important thing.
That's great. I was going to ask you, Jimmy, what do you do between rounds? And that's a great statement, Sean, that learn from their opponents, learn from the people you lost to, learn even probably, I would assume, learn from the people you beat too, learn what they could have done differently. And
it is it's so awesome that you mentioned that, Sean, and and we're talking to this now, Louis and Sean, because I think that's actually one of the most important things about doing good in this game, doing good as a player, because I'm not exceptionally I'm not a genius or nothing, but it was a lot of when I would lose, I would talk to my opponent, what I could have done better, and what's he doing, especially when I was early on starting out. I remember my first skirmish when I finally made it to the top tables of the guys on the leaderboard. I was unknown at the time, so when I finally made it to the tables with the guys at the leaderboard, I was doing I was yo, when you whip me, let me we're gonna spend the rest of this round, I'm gonna talk to you. And that is the one fortunate thing about being in Florida, where we have a I'm lucky enough to have a pretty good local scene. I know a lot of Flesh and Blood players wish they could have a better local scene. Being in Florida, you know, I got a good local scene, and as we talked about, we have a lot of good players here, and they're, you know, everyone in this community. I mean, we may be opposing teams with like the dropouts or whatnot, but they everyone in this community, you know, you can talk to them, they'll talk to you, and they'll help you out. And the comment about even like when you beat someone, you can learn something from them. I did just that. I played in a local against this guy. I'd never even heard about him. He was playing a Bolton as well. I won the mirror, and that guy, like, I made the most changes to my deck after facing that guy, and I won the mirror. You know, like, even when you win, you could still take something from your opponent. You could still, you know, take a look at him and, you know, see what he's doing, and it could inspire you.
Are you talking about the Battlefield Blitz?
The Battlefield Blitz, that you know, removing a lot of the non-light cards out of the Bolton. I'm like, how could you not play E-Strike? And then, you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to not play E-Strike, and then it worked out for me.
And I think in Flesh and Blood, it's so, you know, I'm not a high tier player, but it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm playing hero X, and that hero is always going to beat hero Y, and like, just to like, oh, I beat him, so I don't need to change my deck at all. And like, I love what you're saying, that like, even when you win, you can be humble. You can say, let me look at my deck to say, how could I have won more, right? Like, how can I increase my odds of winning as much as possible? And that's awesome. Like, not just to like, oh, the game's over, I'm done. Cool. So, all right, you've got through round 3, you lost round 4, you picked it up, you made it to the top cut, you fight your way through, you're on the final table. You guys can chat more about any of the matchups, anything like that. At what point in the game were you like, boom? Like, what point did it click, and were you like, I'm gonna win this? And then like, how does that interact? Like, what I'm anticipating is, I hope maybe someone's watching this, right, and like, they're going to be in a road to nationals this weekend, and at some point in their final game, something's going to click, like, to help them understand that feeling, so when that happens, they know where they're going.
Yes. So, you know, there was a lot of good players at this road to nationals, you know, especially when you're at round 4, round 5, trying to get into the top 8. You know, you're only going to go against good players. There were some games where I knew my opponent was good, but I knew what I was drawing was gas. I knew how to work with it, and I knew that I had this guy on the back foot since kind of, you know, earlier on. There are some games, I would say my top 4, where like I had something clutch, like I had exact Qs, and it felt very good. So there are some games where it came down to like I drew my hand. I'm like, I could maybe do it this turn. And funny enough, my finals, that was the game where like the nerves were on. The nerves were definitely on. I wasn't in my most, you know, relaxed, calm state. This was the finals. This was against a big player, a good player. And I didn't. If I had made the connection, it's Bolton, right? It's Bolton Sabres, and the thing with Bolton Sabres is when they do their double Lumina, triple Lumina turn, it could be like, you know, 30-4, and they can come back and beat you that game, right? Yeah. So knowing that, I didn't exactly feel like I was like I won the game until he went for the fist bump. I was like, wait, that's it? Yeah. Because I was definitely grinding him down, but I was just like, I got to keep the pressure on. I got to make sure I beat him. And, you know, and I was just so focused on go that by the time he like reached out of town, I'm like, wait, that's it. And I won the game. In hindsight, you know, with Sean watching it, and in hindsight watching it, and I'm like, wait, Bolton, he has the charge. There's like, if you have to block, then you can't really do your turn because you have to one card to play, one card to charge, and then Lumina. You know, it doesn't work well with Bolton on the back foot. But in the moment, I was like, go, let's try to win.
Yeah. I was celebrating. I was celebrating as soon as his opponent got 10 health. Like, I was pacing up and down the room, just pumping it, because like I know what's in Jimmy's deck, right? I saw his tunic resource, I saw the life totals, and the armor was burned on Jimmy's Plunder Run Command and Conquer play, which was disgusting. He held the Plunder Run and Arsenal Command and Conquer. He went Take Flight Raiden and then dropped that at the end just to say, like, give me everything in your hand or take an L right now. And so I'm like over there pumping because like Jimmy said, you need to have one in Arsenal and you need to have you need to have minimum 2 Luminas to win that matchup at that point.
Yeah. Then
you need 3 cards in hand. You can max block with 1 and you charge, right? And when Jimmy starts swinging for like 15 to 20 a turn, I was like, pack it in. But that was not the right mentality at all. Like, I didn't want to, I shouldn't have like called it, but like I had faith at that point. And I was like, that was like the point, you know, in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl where you're like, all right, we're up by 7. We've got the ball. There's 30 seconds left. Like, I'm not going to count on Jimmy to fumble it. So it was pretty solid.
And it's pretty funny that Sean felt that way being on the outside. He felt that we were nearing that home stretch, whereas in that same moment, I was probably playing the game like I was back in turn 1. Like I had to go, I had to do I was playing my best. I did not relax at all until.
But that's why you won. And that's 100% why you won.
I would say it worked out.
And that's awesome. And dude, I love, it was Nick, right? That was your opponent at the end.
It was Nick Murphy, yes.
I love very great player. Like you've probably heard his name if you're watching. You've probably heard his name here.
Sure.
I love the sportsmanship and the celebration at the end. That's something that I think is so beautiful about this game. Like, we joked about the Tellurian dropouts, and you guys have a great tournament scene down there, and there is a little bit of a competition, I think, above like Team Kitchen Fable and the dropouts, but there's so much respect, right? Like there's so much respect for each other, and what I love is like somebody from the Tellurian dropouts or multiple people from the Tellurian dropouts will win a road to national. And we'll probably have, and I love you guys were chatting in the Discord server today, like 15 of 6 or 1 of 16 of the Team Kitchen Fable have made the tournament. Let's get all, 15 of, all 16 in there. And like, I love that, like, you guys will face off again in the nationals. And you'll fight off again, and it'll be great. And like, winner or loser, like everyone will go home knowing that they brought everything to the table. And like, somebody left a comment on I don't want to get into it, but like, this is all I'm gonna say. Somebody left a comment on the Facebook that was criticizing somebody else's deck from overseas. I'm not gonna get where they were. What they said is that the US meta has a lot to learn. And here's what I have to say with that. We're gonna see Team Kitchen Fable, Tellurian dropouts is gonna be both teams are gonna be represented at Worlds, and you guys are putting in the freaking time. You're putting in the effort. You're putting in the drive. You've got the desire. You guys have the energy, the excitement about the game, and like, I'm so excited to see you guys representing well, both in your humility, both in your attitude. Tellurian dropouts and their attitude at enjoying losing. Like, we've all talked about this. We've all said this, that Flesh and Blood is a fun game to lose. It's a really fun game to win, but it's a fun game to lose. And you guys and everyone demonstrated that really well. And I'm just excited for you guys, man. Jimmy, congratulations. And
thank you.
I want to leave you guys. I know you guys are going to record the video tonight, so I want to leave you guys with a lot of energy and excitement to go and to record your kind of deck tech and a little bit more in-depth question and answer type thing. Anything else you want to say on the channel though, Jimmy?
Louis, again, I appreciate, of course, hosting our team, and I enjoy playing the game, enjoy playing, and what you were saying about, the team's there's, a little bit of a team rivalry. Every team wants to be the top team, but I think we have a very good community here in Flesh and Blood. Everybody's respectful. Everybody is willing to help everybody out. And our slogan here at Kitchen Table is "Be kind to people," and I think we try to represent that within our team. And as players, I see it all around, and I am it's a great game. I love it.
Yeah. It's awesome, man. It's so great it's nice to have a win under the belt for Team Kitchen Fable, because now we can really just lean into the like encouraging everyone else and whatever. I mean, I know the rest of the team's gonna win it up, but like, it's nice to have a win under the belt. And congratulations, man. Super proud of you. Sean, I know you, dude. I messaged you last night. I just said to Sean, I was like, congratulations, Sean, because like, Sean has put like, and nobody ever is going to see this until Sean wins the road to national and is having the conversation. But like,
Hatchet Gang, Bolton Hatchet Gang, it's happening. I promise. Now that Jimmy has his PTI, Jimmy, I'm making you work with me on my hatchet build. I'm taking Bolton hatchets to nationals. It's gonna be disgusting. It's gonna be disgusting. It's gonna be amazing.
But like, Sean has put so much work behind the scenes to organize. Like, Jimmy, I know, like, you've already kind of said in this chat that like it's not, I mean, you are the person who piloted the deck and navigated the deck and won the tournament. And like 99.9% of the effort goes into how you play the deck. But that 0.01 or whatever, that 0.1% of like working on a team and like working out some of the things is so important. And like Sean, did you put a ton of time into creating a team and an environment for players like Jimmy and the rest of the team to organize that? So I appreciate you, man.
You know what, Louis? I owe a lot to the team. You said 0.1%. You know, part of me thinks it's like 60, 70, 80% to the team and all their testing that they helped me out with. You know, my friend Jacob, also on the team, was also there at that tournament with us, and like I've been grinding games with him, and he's been helping me get prepared for the chain matchups. Like within our team, I love the community, and everyone has helped me get here. It wasn't just me, for sure.
Nice. That's great. Well, how pretty is that tunic?
Oh man, I love it, man. I mean, you know, it's an awesome trophy. I can put it in a hard case, and I'm one of those players where if I'm keeping this tunic, I'm gonna be playing. I'll put it in a hard case and I'll play it. I'll put my little tick on it for sure. I love it.
I love it, man. Well, cool. Well, hey guys, you guys go and record your video. Everyone else who's watching, make sure that you go on over to Team Kitchen Fable, listen to the actual good interview with Jimmy, and get his knowledge and more stuff. Guys, I appreciate the time. I appreciate the energy. Jimmy, one more time, dude. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. And it's pretty exciting. The rest of you guys, remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you again next video.